Hello, everyone. Thanks a lot for the opportunity. 2 sessions previous to this one, we're dealing with data. One of Attila, of course, the other one of Mark, that is doing some interesting thing about sports. I'm the data guy of Yes Television. My name is Ido Bigger, and I'm the Business Intelligence Department Manager of Yes Television. Yes Television is probably most of its decisions, maybe 100% of its decisions are data-based, which is a very good place to be as a BI manager. Maybe 90% of those decisions were made by BI data from the data warehouse. So it's a very good place to be as a BI manager. Now, it took us a long ride to get there. I'm going to show you 3 use cases that we did with our business in order to get there. Hope you're going to get some insights through this. But instead of reading you all the bullets, I'm going to say 3 principles that every Yes employee knows by heart. First of all, Yes cares about its customer care. We invest a lot of time and money in order to be customer satisfaction is very high. Our competitors' surveys are very low, so it's a main difference. People know that they pay much more money or more money to Yes than our competitors, but they still know they're going to be satisfied customers. Secondly, content. Content is our maybe reason for being, right? So Yes invests a lot of money. We have exclusive rights for HBO, for example, and every customer of Yes knows he's going to get the best content there is. I mean, literally, if you see a Game of Thrones series, the 5th series, 7th chapter, immediately when it finishes in the States, immediately afterwards, it's going to be shown on Yes in Israel. Third is about technology. Technology leadership is something that we made as our goal, and now being exclusive and first-timers in Israel, first-timers in OTT VOD, we became something that we made a standard. And every customer knows that Yes is a leading brand, not only in content and customer satisfaction. We're probably going to be the technology leader up ahead. So I'm going to show you a short movie, which is the winning commercial of 2013 with the late James Gandolfini. And it sums up a huge impact that we had on the industry, where 5% of our competitors' customers changed sides and came to us. It was part of a huge campaign that won the Israeli Commercial Authority.
Life is short. Try to do something new every day. Dance. Try to dance as much as you can. Try to connect to the silence of the sea. And whenever you can, try to give your body a good rest. And once in a while, try to surprise an old friend.
I'm sorry.
I know. Try to exercise on a regular basis. A healthy body is a healthy mind. And learn to appreciate art. Try new things. And yes, it will change your life.
Some things you just have to try. Only on Yes. Yes-O, the home of HBO. With all of HBO's masterpiece series. Yes-O, don't settle for less. Yes.
Good. You like him, right? Those applause are for the marketing team, right? Not for me. I was just analyzing the data on this commercial. So anyway, the first use case is about analyzing customer behavior. I know for sure that Thomas, where's Thomas, has 3 lovely daughters. The little one is very smart. I know that Noah has 3 kids. 2 of them left the house and 1 of them stayed there. He's 18 now. And but I spoke to them and I know that. But whoever, any one of you ever purchased the data on their customers from the government or from anyone else? No. You did? Well, that's legal in some part, but in Israel, for example, it's not. I can't go and ask for permission to buy the data, for the demographic data of our customers. It's not possible, it's not legit. So we have to do it by analyzing the data and try to understand who's living in the house. Of course, their experience, what did they do, what do they lack, which hours of the day. And what I'm going to show you now is a basic analytical issue that we made in order to understand the household experience. So first of all, we saw that increased content consumption during weekdays, weekends, are sometimes even get to 40%, as you can see on May. So we tried to understand what happens. It's VOD downloads, all right? OTT was a huge breakthrough for us as BI people because all you guys here that deals with satellites know that you don't know nothing about the consumption of the customers. So OTT was a pretty much breakthrough for us, and we used the VOD downloads to see those figures. Now, we saw that it splits through the hours of the day, and we have certain gaps that were made us think what happens during those hours. And what we could see that Saturday and Friday, which is in Israel, are the weekend. Sunday is a normal work day, and weekends are only Friday and Saturday. And we saw a different behavior between Saturday and Friday. And anyone here can guess? Shabbos, yes, but why is the difference between Friday and Saturday in VOD downloads? Shabbat, of course, but there was the kids, all right? In Saturday mornings, I don't know if you can see the hours, but it's 8 o'clock in the morning. Parents still wants to sleep, and kids are downloading the VOD, all right? And Friday, as you can see, it starts at 12, 1 o'clock, and when they go back from grade school, immediately they go and start downloading VOD, and when parents trying to sleep, they're noon, of course. But it fits specific, so of course this was the assumption, right? But to approve, to see that this really is the conclusion, we looked at the SVOD, all right, the subscription VOD, which is the kid VOD channels, and we saw that indeed those are the peaks, all right? Those are the peaks, which means those are the hours that kids come, go to the television. The parents are probably making now lunch or trying to go to sleep at Friday after school, or it's Saturday morning, of course, and those are the time that kids are actually getting all our money out because some parents forgot to put the code in the VOD. So it was a conclusion for us, those are the kids. Okay, so now, once you have the conclusion and you bring the marketing, we compared it to real customers. And we tried to see with surveys and like round questions, see if it fits, and it's 100% for sure, all right? So it's a fact that during those times, if you play commercials or if you play specific offers, campaign management, which I'm in charge of, in those hours for kids between the ages of 4, 5, and 11, 12, it's a good mark and it's a good thing to do for the marketing people. Second use case, I want to talk about analyzing my TV recommendation platform. This is what we do with Viaccess-Orca, and what we do over there is using a specific channel, all right, what you see above over there, that they can go, it's channel number 7, and get their own personal recommendation. We have 4 different platforms that we use the personal recommendation. The analytical part is going to be on the channel number 7. What we see here is that my department is not only analytical department, it's also operational data department, which means our CRM function on data that comes from the data warehouse, because you have indications of customers. If you call to the call center in ES and you already spoken with them and got, for example, for the conservation, immediately you're going to be routed in the IVR to the conservation service call through the data from the data warehouse. So it's a good place to be at, where the BI is not only data for analytical, it's also for operational issues. So one of the biggest operational part is that as the data warehouse, we take all those VOD downloads of the customers and deliver them to Viaccess-Orca in order for the Compass engine to create those personal recommendations. And we reflect them also in the invoice, in the website, of course in the ESCO, and the MyTV platform, which we're going to talk about in a few seconds. So this is the MyTV platform. This is how it looks like. You have 3 main things that you can do in the first screen when you open the channel. First thing is the personal recommendation. Right? You can choose, I want to get personal recommendation or don't. Just show me the general recommendation, for example, Game of Thrones. All right? This is the marketing choice. The third thing is search. Why? Not specific there, because we're not popular. Now, you have the search option wherever you go in the VOD. In the EPG, when you go to the VOD, you have the search option as well. So remember this option here in the main screen. Now, when we're trying to measuring the BI platform, or the MyTV platform, you have to understand the usage of the BI system at ES. As I told you, 100% of the decisions made in ES are data-driven, all right? So this is our BI portal. This is how it looks like. The people up on the top are real people that go inside the system every day. One of them is the CTO, I think, even. And what we saw here, and the main focus, is the operation, the actions that the customers really do in the MyTV platform. I don't know if you can see, but the one circled is the search option, which means people even go to channel 7 of the personal recommendation to use the search. All right, so we understood that search is such a powerful thing that now we're working on putting the search as maybe a front page in the EPG, because we understand people want to search all the time, even if they went to the channel to get personal recommendation. All right, so we understood the power of search in the assets, of course. Now, when we're talking about conversion funnels in the recommendation, I want to say a few things about. So we're going to speak the same language. First of all, visiting MyTV in unique customer quantity, people that went to see the channel, the one who approved personal recommendation, because some people just go to the channel, no, thank you very much. I don't want to approve the personal recommendation. Exposed is the ones that actually went inside the asset, the recommendation, and got information about it. So of course, those two, we settled them up, or we summed up to approved plus, I don't see it here anymore, plus exposed to personal recommendation. And of course, the VOD download unique customer quantity, the guys that actually bought or downloaded the VOD. So this is the funnel, those 3 stages. On the chart, it looks like this. Of course, the blue part is the huge people that just visited MyTV. This was with the promo on the air, those period. This period with no promo in the air. And this one when we changed the channel from 18 to 7. So it's like the main strip of channels. So it made up like 160 times percent from the previous month. So promo, of course, helped, and the changing of the channel, of course, helped. But let's look at the upper part of the funnel. So as you can see here, again, with the promo, without the promo, the new channel, and now as you can see, those, of course, are about 4 times more VOD downloads that were made because we moved the channel and we put the promo on. I couldn't leave the numbers with the money inside due to restrictions of our PR, but it's not a lot of money, but it's still a good thing to start with, all right? It has an ROI for the investment of the recommendation engine, but what we understood more significantly is that, look at the figures now of the conversion out of approved and exposed to personal recommendation, and of course the conversion of visitors, and we understood the conclusion, and I'm going to just jump to the conclusion, forget about this, is that we need basically to extend the base, all right? If we find more ways to get people to see personal recommendation, we're going to get more money of it, okay? So we're working, as we speak, about more ways of getting more recommendation and not just specific channel to get personal recommendation. The recommendation should follow with you to wherever you go in the EPG. It sounds, of course, so, maybe Attila, it sounds so obvious, right, in Netflix that it follows you all the time. It's not that easy to do in a traditional company, but this is what we understood by this analytical part. Extend the base, extend the funnel. In the end, it's more money. The third use case is analyzing the ESCO. Everybody here has the mobile version of their television, right? So we tried to analyze the ESCO. Of course, it was a big big celebration for us to get all the data. Suddenly, you get the consumption of 100% of your customers. And I'm going to talk about basically the main things we concluded out of the data. Linear and VOD usage on the ESCO, this is customers, all right? As you can see, almost 45% of the customers, unique customers, use the VOD usage in the ESCO. But when I look at the views, you can see immediately that the linear part is much bigger. Why is it happening, do you think? Zapping, all right? People still like to zap even though it's on tablet. They watch 1 minute of one channel, another 1 minute, another 1 minute. So Of course, in the linear, they see more shows than in the VOD when they know specifically where they want to go. All right, so the linear part is much bigger here. But now that we added the PC to the equation, we saw that, and I don't know if you did it, the PC didn't affect service introduction on PC doesn't cannibalize mobile consumption, which means people use the PC not to see television in another place. They just connected it to the television, and they didn't influence at all the mobile consumption. This was a big surprise for us, because we thought maybe, as we thought in the roundtables, that people are going to use tablets, mobile phones, smartphones, and of course the PC. But now, according to this analytics, we see that no, PC is still, people see PC as television, as a small television, and maybe they're connected to the television, and it's not coming instead of tablets and smartphones. Content-wise, I don't know if you can see, you can see series, movies, etc. Content-wise, is the same content. People watch whatever they watch on the PC, on the tablet, and on the smartphone, they watch the same. But looking at VOD, they watch series, of course, and they watch movies, a bit of kids. I'm talking about ESCO usage, right? Not the television. So series rules VOD, and series rules linear. But the main difference is two parts. Movies, which was a big surprise to us too. They watch movies much more than they watch on the VOD, which is not equivalent to what happens in the television, right? But of course, as Hank knows, sports, all right? Sports and linear, we can't see it on VOD, and it was the main difference too. So as a conclusion for analyzing the third use case, viewing preferences don't change over devices. It was a big surprise for us, but not too big. A surprise for us, but not too big. The second part, PC's consumption hasn't changed the mobile consumption. That was a big surprise for us. We thought it's going to change, but no, it's just elevated. As you can see in the third chart, it just increased the consumption in the same amount as the PC elevated. Series are the most viewed content type in the OTT platform. Not a big surprise. Live sports events, you know about it, and customers tend to zap on OTT as well. Therefore, the asset-customer ratio, et cetera, et cetera. So you understand that by doing data or by having good data, solid department, or even a few more guys, Thomas told me he has 4 guys dealing with data or not at all. It depends what you do with it. If you take it to the operational level, it's very valuable and it's measurable. Sometimes people say, we don't invest in BI because it doesn't have a definite ROI. If you take it to the operational part, you sure have operational ROI, and you can see that. If you go to the analytical part, as Attila said, and as Mark probably knows, it's going to be worthwhile. And what Shem said in the beginning, I'm pretty positive that in 2025, I'm going to be here, or the data guy is going to be here, because data is going to drive all of our decisions, and it's going to be like the external base of everyone. Thank you very much.
Questions? It's great to see how, particularly for someone who's from a data business, seeing how all of that comes together to drive decisions in your organization. So, Shem? I think there's a microphone right behind you.
All right. Oh, yeah. Sorry. I was just asking, so how big is the team that is crunching all the data to provide, the marketing and operational teams the means to
what are the means in terms of how many people are doing that?
Yeah.
I have in my department 33 people.
33 people.
Yeah. But it includes the operational part, which is campaign management, CRM people, stuff.
I think it would be interesting if you mention how many consumers you have in your organization that consume this data on a daily basis.
Yeah. Our BI systems, as the one you saw in the beginning, have about 450, maybe 500 users inside the company, of course, starting the CEO that goes to this system every day, and all the way through the team managers in the CSR call centers. What was the main focus for us last year, it's another project and it's another customer story, is that it's going to be the same language throughout the hierarchy, which means if we're talking about sales, everybody across the chain knows what we're talking about, all right? So maybe the biggest thing to do in an organization is get the same business language. So 450, maybe 500 people, active users of the systems, real time. If you go to our call centers, you're going to see screens of those systems with real-time sales, real-time calls, real-time campaigns that are online right now, and this is like the main thing here. Every meeting in the S starts with opening those systems, those BI systems. I don't know how many of you has this privilege of whenever you go to a meeting, you open a BI system and you see the data waiting for you over there. So it's a good place to be at.
Interesting. Well, great. Thank you.
Excuse me.
Okay, quick question. I do want to point out that if you do have questions following this, is that I bigger?
Yeah.
At yes.co.il, so you can certainly reach out
So
to
just
him.
a
Please.
quick question. Are you planning to connect this recommendation engine to external data like Facebook and other social network?
I've spoken to Attila before. We're actually a customer story at Amazon as well. So we're trying to collect everything now and grab it and put it in AWS and try to figure out later on what to do with it. And social, it all depends about privacy, right? So whatever we can, we take, and then probably we think what to do with it later on the marketing guide things. But whatever you can grab it, and then you'll know what to do.
Interesting. And actually, that's a perspective I've heard from a number of operators, is we don't know exactly how we want to use it, but if we don't capture it, we'll never have a chance to use it. And so they do that. Well, great. Well, for those of you who are looking for just a little bit more caffeine in your life, we now will have a break for you able to get a little bit of sunshine, a little bit of coffee. And
Thank you very
will
much.
be back at 4 o'clock. Yes, I've been told we can be back here at 4 o'clock, and so we'll see you all in 15 minutes.